Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Robinson here again. And today I'm going to share a shortcut for complex fractions dedicated to this nice young lady who asked me a good question about it, if I had any shortcuts. Well, I'm going to show you a very, very nice shortcut by using your calculator. So here's our question. We have to evaluate the complex fraction, and complex fractions are just fractions on steroids, where you got a lot going on in the numerator and a whole lot either going on in the numerator as well as the denominator. So here's my shortcut, and you'll like it because you're going to use your calculator to help you out. All you got to do is use parenthesis around the numerator and then type your division sign and put parenthesis around the denominator and press equal. Okay, so let me get my calculator and we're going to use those parentheses. So here's our first parenthesis, and then we type negative 5, 5, and press my fraction button. And my fraction button looks like that, even though you have the ABC button. And put a parenthesis. There's my numerator. We know the fraction bar means divide. So I'm going to type the divide sign. Yours may come out a little funny, but that's okay because you have this in parenthesis, which is your numerator. So the parenthesis is going to keep all of that stuff together. Now I'm going to divide it by the denominator. So I put parenthesis, negative 1, fraction bar, ABC button, and half. And I'm going to even put the plus 1 down there in parentheses. There is your interesting looking fraction. Okay. All right. And I'm even tempted to put an extra pair of parentheses around the 1/2, but I'm not going to do that right now because I think this will still work out. So press, and I get negative 3 units and 1/3. So I believe that is the correct answer. So this is one way of looking at it, using the parenthesis. So now, let's release that. So I get negative 3 and 1/3. So I believe that is correct, but I have the decimals calculator to fall back on. So let me go get the decimals calculator. And do the same thing. Decimals calculator will make it look a little bit better. All right, so parenthesis and make this fraction. So negative 5 on top, on the bottom, 3, move over, close the parenthesis. And now I'm dividing that by, so I got to press the divide button. So there's my first numerator. And now I'm dividing that by, put parenthesis, negative fraction, 1/2, 1/2, and move over, plus 1. Okay, and put my parenthesis, and that looks like exactly the same question, and we should get the same answer that we got, negative 3 and 1/3. And I see a negative 3 in all of these threes. Let me just press the fraction button, and I get negative 10/3. But if you're not sure, you should watch that other video I made, how to convert these improper fractions to mixed numbers. I'm going to press the ANDS button, show answer button, and I'm going to use the additive inverse of the first number, which is what I want to get rid of. The opposite is another way of saying additive inverse. So I want to get rid of the -3. The opposite of -3 is +3. And now when I press enter, you notice that's gone. So I know my first number is going to be -3. And I need to know, what is all these threes as a fraction? Well, if I press my fraction button, it's negative 1/3, which means my answer is negative 3 and 1/3. So that's what we did the other day when we were dealing with converting these fractions using decimals. So we get the same answer. So that was a good question, a nice trick. So use parentheses around that, and hopefully that'll do it. And I'm going to, of course, say check your understanding. Hopefully you understand that trick. And if you're still confused, let's try another question. So here's another question, but I'm going to give you a different trick. Oh, there's another trick, Dr. Rob? Yes. This time, I'm going to tell you how to deal with fractions, even supersteroid fractions like this. When you get fractions like this and you don't want to deal with them, do what comes natural to the calculator. Change it to a decimal. So we can take negative 8 thirds, second PRB button, which gives you your F arrow D, and that'll change it to a decimal. So there's your numerator. And it's a repeating decimal, no problem. So now we got to deal with the denominator. So let's get our denominator and change that fraction to a decimal. So let me get my calculator. Let me press negative 1 fraction bar ABC button, 7th, press enter, and let me change that second FPRB button, and that changes that to that funny looking decimal. So let's pull that out. So, and we got to add 1 to it. So keep that in mind. We have to add 1. So let's take that answer plus 1. And there is the denominator. So the denominator is all of that. So I'll cover up the old one because we don't need that one. Pull this out a little bit. So your denominator is all of that, 0.885 and all of that. So the only bad thing about dealing with decimals, sometimes you can run into a nasty decimal and then you have to divide it. So that's another way around it. I recommend my first trick because if I have to divide this, yuck, it's not going to be pretty. Let me try and divide it. So let's see. My first number was negative. Let me clear this. Negative 2.666666667. Divide that by 0.857142.857. Press enter, and I get negative 3.1111112. Let's see what that is as a fraction. So let me change that to a mixed number. I'm sorry. And if you remember, second and the ABC button this time, and you get an improper fraction of negative 28 over 9. And if we change that to a fraction, second ABC, negative 3.111. And I'm curious by what is the 1.111 stuff. So let me put the answer back and add the additive inverse to negative 3. So I'm going to add 3. And I get all that 0.111 stuff. So I'm curious by second ABC, PRB. And let's see what that is. That's 1/9. Negative 1/9. So my answer is going to be negative 3 and 1/9. Woo, that was rough. And let's see if that's right. Yeah, negative 3 and 1/9. So as I said, dealing with decimals, you can do it, but sometimes it gets a little rough when you run into a lot of repeating decimals. So it gets a little messy, but you can do it. I recommend my first trick, which is use parentheses. And let's wind up this tape. So I'm going to put parentheses around here and parentheses around here. And remember, I'm going to type in my calculator. Let's clear this stuff. My numerator, which is parenthesis, negative 8, ABC button, thirds, parenthesis. The fraction bar means divide, parenthesis again, negative 1, ABC button, seventh, and let's add 1 to that, plus 1, and parenthesis. So there's your numerator divided by your denominator. Let's press enter, and you get negative 3 and 2/18. Dr. Rob, 2/18? That's not negative 3 and 1/9. Are you sure? What if we simplify it? Let's simplify, and I get negative 3 units and 1/9, which is exactly the same thing as we got. So there is your answer. It's the same. So whether you like the decimals, some people do, and want to deal with all those repeating decimals, go right ahead. But I recommend the shortcut by using the parenthesis around the numerator and parenthesis divided by the parenthesis around the denominator, and you can't go wrong that way. So be careful, and hopefully you'll have good success with it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. There's Dollar Teacher Homework Helpline, 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Give them a call. Watch our tutorial videos. My channel name is Dan Robinson, PKMS. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. And check out our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 21. You can tweet me at drobmath1. Don't forget to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision on Channel 15, only in Peekskill. If you would like some more tutorial work on this topic, write me at drobinson@peekskillschools.org. And there's our movie, a little clip of the pandemic. There's little Kinsley there. So check it out. Good movie. So I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you like the shortcut. And remember, use those parentheses because it does help out. So this is Dr. Rob signing off. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.